Kalimera σας. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the beginning of the second decade of the Athens Democracy Forum. It's absolutely wonderful to see so many familiar faces in the room, so many partners. We've done a lot of work together over the last decade. We've got more to do in the decade to come. There's people from Australia to Brazil, Zimbabwe to South Korea. It's almost like the United Nations in here. So thank you for being here. We are here this morning because we want to report back to you today on the work that we've achieved so far. What we said we were going to do same time last year, and we went away, and with quite a number of partners, we did it. And here we are reporting back on the solutions and the next steps. Declan from Kofi Annan Foundation, talking about partners, saw me this morning and said, how's the stress levels? And then immediately said, oh, but we're going to have fun. And that's what we need to do. We need to have fun. So please, I can feel the energy in the room. It's wonderful. And let's enjoy these 3 days as well as get down to business. Now, as most of you know, about 10 years ago, we started the Athens Democracy Forum. It was founded at the New York Times, and it was going really well. And then about 4 years ago, we did a bit of a reality check because we were thinking a lot. We were definitely talking, and we weren't really doing very much. So that's why we have the word do there to remind us constantly that the purpose of this conference is to do things. And at the New York Times, what we did, we decided the best way to put solutions into action is to actually take the conferences, the two conferences, Athens Democracy Forum and Art for Tomorrow, out of the commercial structure of the Times and put them under a non-profit structure. So the Democracy and Culture Foundation was born to further the impact of Athens Democracy Forum and Art for Tomorrow, and to debate the challenges that democracy is facing, but also to help democracy become more resilient. The mission of the foundation is for us to help democracy evolve by empowering society through citizen engagement and better governance. It is actually these two outcomes of citizen engagement and better governance that will help us address the pandemics that we're faced with. And I'm not only talking about the pandemic of the COVID kind or the senseless war in Ukraine, but I'm also talking about the pandemic of the cancer of inequality, the climate crisis, the migration shifts that are shifting geopolitics and demography, and also this very fast pace of technology. And it seems that democracy has a lot of catching up to do with technology. And these, ladies and gentlemen, are basically our four thematic pillars in the foundation: climate, business, migration, and technology. And we want to achieve our mission by a strategic impact chain that McKinsey helped us come up 4 or 5 years ago. Think, talk, do. It is very, very simple. We want to involve people like us in the room, to come up with specific policy recommendations on how we can improve democracy. We want to involve grassroots, a lot of activists, a lot of people. So we do a lot of expert roundtables, but we do a lot of consultations around the world. And we want to, in this way, make things happen in local communities, but then make those replicable and scalable to other parts of the world. So the signature event is the reimagining the building blocks of democracy, which we're going to hear about very, very shortly. It is truly a global project. We went to 11 cities around the world with 11 partners, 11 organizations, and all of these organizations are represented here today. And now, after doing all these roundtables, all these consultations, we have put together a policy proposal package that we want to present to you, and that's the task of the next session. After that, we will look at our other projects. So we have Teams for Democracy. We have the Climate Change Hub, Orbis, which is an EU Horizon project, building an AI tool to help deliberative democracy. And talking about other projects, yesterday we had two very special sessions. We explored the nexus of climate and democracy, something that the Athens Democracy Forum has been doing for quite some time, but we're partnering with the Climate Democracy Initiative and Arizona State University in order to help us inject more of a climate angle in the democracy debate. And the other special session we had was driving towards a permanent People's Assembly for Europe, in cooperation with the European University Institute based in Florence. For that, we went to the PNIX, and I believe it was the first time in some centuries. You know, in Greece, people count things in centuries. It was the first time, reportedly after 2,300 years, that a meeting of its kind took place, and we're working together with our partners in order to make sure that this does become permanent or standing. And this year, we also have two other initiatives, a Hall of Fame, collaborating with Apolitical, called Democratic Innovators, and with the Kofi Annan Foundation, A Dream Come True. Kofi Annan, one of the inspirations of this forum 10 years ago, we are launching the Kofi Annan Next Gen Democracy Prize on Thursday night at the Stoav Atalos. Now, there's a lot of projects, but they are all interconnected, and we are all interconnected. I mean, we can't do things alone. And yes, we do promise think, talk, do. Our way of activating the do part in particular is through convening, connecting people, and collaborating. The promise is that we want to establish a global hub. And the promise of the foundation of the Democracy and Culture Foundation is to be the hub for all these 11 organizations and more that I mentioned, and even more people that have joined us this year. I'd like to thank at this point our sponsors. Microsoft has been major for us this year and even supported our building blocks. Democracy Culture Initiative, Arizona State University, TIJ University, and TIJ Future Consensus Institute, and Google. They are our headline sponsors. And then our gold and silver sponsors, EBRD, Libra Philanthropies, Berggruen Institute, and many, many others that you see on the board here. And many others that you don't see on the board here because they want to remain a little bit more anonymous. So thank you to all our sponsors. I think we should give them a round of applause. They make it happen. So let's make this day interactive. Scream and shout from wherever you're sitting. Especially today, interrupt people that are up here to express your point of view, because we want to know what you think of the work that we've done. So please also post on social media. We've made it very simple, or not as simple. So it's, what is it? Handle, Forum Athens, and then hashtag Athens Forum. So try and remember the order, but it's also written in your program here. And hashtag Athens Democracy as well. So let's think, talk, do. However, as you probably realized, what we're doing this year, we're doing it the other way around. Today, it's all about do. Tomorrow, we'll get into the talk part of all our wonderful panels with that great journalistic sensibility that the New York Times gives us. And then on the weekend, with Deepak Chopra at Costa Navarino, we have some serious thinking to do about well-being and democracy. So thank you all. I would like to invite my partners in crime, Anthony Kefalas, Vice Chair of the Foundation, and Kim Conniff-Tabor. We go back a very long way from the International Herald Tribune days, our editorial director. They will guide us through the building blocks of democracy. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.